One of the first areas of the world of Terminus we were introduced to in Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, the upcoming MMORPG by Visionary Realms, was a place known as Wild's End, the home of the Halflings of Terminus, the charming yet cursed race known for their youthful exuberance. A cinematic in 2015 showcasing Wild's End gave us one of our first glimpses of in-game footage of Pantheon. Since that time, a considerable amount of concept art, written information, and some further video from developer streams has been shown, giving us a good look at Wild's End. So let's take a tour of this little corner of the world and try to learn a bit more about what being a halfling in Pantheon might look like. Our tour today will include a vast and violent swamp, a pristine pond of translucent depth and mineral rejuvenation, a decrepit temple of the dispossessed, and of course, the halfling's elevated home of Sohireth. Keep in mind Pantheon is in pre-alpha development, so nothing here is set in stone. But otherwise, sit back and enjoy the tour. On this misty morning, we begin down the road which leads us into the halfling village of Sohireth, a winding, vertical, and peculiar city built amidst the massive tower oaks of Wild's End. The dichotomy between the diminutive size of Sohireth's residence and its architecture is not by accident. Note how the hollows and burrows mingle seamlessly with the titan trees, a testament to the halfling's skill of adaptation. You see, the halflings settled in this area against the warnings of the elves, who foretold them of the wraiths that haunted these woods. Yet this only solidified the resolve of the halflings to create this wondrous place. As such, with the effortless stealth of a wolf and the devious charm of a child, there are few circumstances in which a halfling cannot work for the upper hand, especially in the trees of their home. As we ascend the stairs to the lofty platforms, take note of the adornments and regalia of the city. Much of the iconography you see may remind you of a seed or an emerging sapling in various iterations. You may catch this design on windows cast from sap resin, upon wooden doors and walls, and embossed into the leather armor of our gracious hosts. Halflings embrace natural themes not only in their sigils, but practically as well. Look around and note the roof tiles are actually stripped bark sections treated with resin sap from the native trees, and leaves, timber, and roots liberally coated with this signature resin form the basis for halfling arms and armor. As a brief aside, I would encourage you to greet any halfling residents we come across during the tour, but please keep in mind that while most travelers are joyfully welcomed here, the instincts of the host race are sharper than the daggers beneath their cloaks. You see, halfling society has three primary branches of their people: the Escap, the Maiden Clan, and the Nothi, all living in relative peace, distinct but not segregated. We'll learn more about each of these branches throughout the tour, so don't mistake their jovial nature for a lack of depth, or you may find yourself upon the forest floor. Now that we've reached the top of the stairs, take a moment to enjoy the view of the forests of Wild's End as the mists of dawn recede into the atmosphere. From this vantage point, it's clear that the scale of vegetation and wildlife reduces even giants to specks of flesh. Take a deep breath and enjoy the scenery, as there's nothing quite so invigorating as seeing Wild's End awaken. Follow me across this bridge to our left and we'll visit one of the most popular places in town. As we cross this bridge, note the wicker and wood terrarium lanterns with their amber glass casing and candlethorn root bulb within as their light fades in the morning's rise. You might also notice what appear to be bundles of 3 feathers placed intermittently along the bridge and elsewhere in the village. Interestingly, the glowing objects in these bundles are actually gigantic dragonfly wings which shift in subtle breezes and reflect the light sharply. These feathers complement this, as they also give off a soft halo of vibrance when the light is caught. We've arrived at the local druid apothecary, a thriving business as halflings are never afraid to consume questionable forest offerings or attempt to catch an ornery creature, often resulting in maladies of various severity. Come take a closer look at the planter box on the side of the building, where you can see the candlethorn root bulbs used in the lanterns being raised with care. Now, I'm not sure what the plant growing alongside it is, but halflings possess an inherent mirth and musicality which sit atop their combustible depth. For that reason, no sampling of the garden, please. We also see the halfling stag motif on the door, a likely indicator that this apothecary belongs to the Escap clan, one of the 3 branches of halfling society mentioned earlier. If you meet her, you may notice her attire to have a look that is more influenced by outsiders than nominal halflings. This is because the Escap clan has worked to establish trade partnerships and alliances with other races, as well as providing governmental structure for Sohirith itself. Not surprisingly, many of today's Escaps claim to be of the bloodline of those nobles, and their desire to lead flows from that lost status. Some demand recognition, while others feel a sincere responsibility to their people. We depart Sohirith via a rope-operated lift just to our right. Halfling rogues are masters of manipulating lengths of rope, so have no concern about the safety of this apparatus. From the town we head east a short distance through a peaceful area of the forest where nothing too threatening lurks. I would point out the statues that watch over the path as we pass by. While not commonly known, these may be representations of what are known as the 6 wards of the Halflings' Pantheon of deities. It is the branch of Halfling society known as the Maiden Clan that has a particular interest in these relics. Maiden Clan are easily the most reserved and contemplative of the race, seeking to find, follow, and know the 6 wards that guide their people. The scholars of their people, history is far more important to the Maiden Clan than Nothi or even the Escaps. In fact, Maiden Clan takes its name and motivation from the first Maiden Leon, who is famous for outwitting Malse and halting the effects of the curse, but was also a voracious student of Kiri history, Kirin the Word of Flame, and culture in general. Much like the Maiden Clan's beliefs, there is always more to learn, so let's keep going. We arrive for a visit to the Well Pond. This amazingly deep pool of water is not a halfling construct, but a naturally occurring phenomenon, with equally fantastic and dangerous things to discover in its depths. Given its proximity to Sohirith, don't be surprised to see halflings collecting the water in vials for its restorative properties, or even leisurely floating on an enormous leaf from a tower oak nearby. You may also see the large stone in the center of the well pond. Many adventurers will be drawn to examine the revered hollow stone in the center of the pond, said to be one of many throughout Wild's End. What purpose the hollow stone holds is a mystery for now, although I'm told that there is research being done to discover its purpose. As noon draws near, we'll continue east into the sprawling area known as the Mad Moor. We've left the safety of the well pond behind and entered an area home to a wide array of treacherous creatures. I hope everyone read the parchment for this tour and brought the proper glyphs to acclimate to the diverse atmospheres of this grueling environment. Unlike the well pond, if you catch sight of a halfling here, do not offer a friendly wave, as it will not likely be reciprocated. This is the home of the Feralings, debased halflings who have lost their essence, consumed by their hunger for the hunt. What is the hunt, you ask? Keep that question in mind for later in the tour. The Mad Moor is also home to the Moor Vakai and their king, a deadly reptilian race, as well as the colossal boas of the moor, which relentlessly grow in size and hunger. It's also said there is a creature of legend here, the Creeping Cess, a rare spawn of evil, and the less we speak of, the better. Come along now, as I feel the eyes of the Feralings upon us. We'll head north and pause for lunch in an area known as the Grove Grass. Stay together here, as this is a formidable labyrinth of paths enclosed by dense bamboo-like foliage. Do we have any keepers amongst the group? If so, I would present you with the Riddle of the Roads to test your perception skills, as this maze provides a barrier to entry into this region. Wild's End is located in the southeastern corner of the continent of Kingsreach, on a peninsula bordered to the north by the Vale of Azarus and to the west by the Steppes of Raloon. Now, enjoy your lunch while the keepers seek insight. The day grows long, and we must get to our next stop on the tour before darkness sets in, for reasons you'll see once we arrive. So pack up your things and let's head west to the Gate. It is inside the Gate where adventurers will find the ancient halls of the Withered and quest to uncover some of Terminus' most primeval and guarded secrets. It's also the home to the wraiths that drew the halflings to settle in Wild's End, despite the warnings of the elves and neglected in fear by the humans. The Nothi clan of halfling society who frequent this area are relentless wraith hunters and an unrepentant wild breed. You had asked about the hunt earlier. Well, these halflings glory in destroying the legacy of the one who cursed them so long ago. The story of the halflings on Terminus is a longer tale, best saved for a tavern or fireside, but know that it was Malse, the Laughing Wraith, later to become known as the Silent Wraith, who made them what they are. A race cursed to become nothingness, but was halted at its midpoint, creating the halflings. It is here at the Gate the Nothi seek to persecute his ilk in every crevice of Terminus, chasing whispers that the silent wraith smolders in secret somewhere among the realms. Now, the hour grows late, and we must return to Sohireth, so let's carry on to the final stop of the tour. We return to Sohireth under the moonlight of Terminus's twin moons. While the vibrant colors of the village may be muted by the night, its inhabitants remain as alive as ever. I hope you've enjoyed this tour. The Halflings are a wild, paradoxical, and joyful people. Because of the curse, they are old, almost haunted souls, yet they've overcome it with a smile, a song, and a razor-sharp appetite for hunting wraiths. Wild's End is their home, and someday, one we may share with them. As always, thanks for watching. Wild's End stands out in my mind as the kind of area in an MMO where you can really get lost in the details. I'm excited to see this area fully realized in Pantheon, and I'll probably spend a lot of time exploring its secrets, as well as falling from the heights of Sohireth. So to all my current and future Halfling friends, cheers, and thanks for watching.